Now, Texas, you mentioned they're trying to hang on to some of those key guys. Every single year, flip watch is a topic. I remember last year where I was when I got the news, hey, Travis Hunter, the Florida State commit, well, he actually just flipped to Deion Sanders in Jackson State. Who are you watching this year? Give us a short list of names maybe when it comes to flip season that we need to keep an eye on as it gets closer and closer to pen to paper.
My favorite season of the year. All right, I'm looking at five-star safety Peyton Bowen. He's currently committed to Notre Dame, could be flipping to either Texas A&M or Oklahoma. Notre Dame did an in-home visit. They're going to try to keep him. He's an unbelievable talent. Talking to Sam Spiegelman, he truly believes he's going to be one of the most impactful freshmen, mainly because of his ability to return kicks and punts, as we're watching right now. Peyton Bowen, one of the best. Also, David Hicks, another Texas prospect. David Hicks is committed to A&M. He's the #1 defensive lineman in America. And David Hicks is looking at Oregon and Oklahoma. Oregon and Oklahoma. They're in it for him. Sadir Mitchell, Georgia is coming hard after Sadir Mitchell. 4-star on 300 defensive lineman, currently committed to Texas. Then you have 4-star wide receiver Andy Jean. He is committed to UF, but he is in Tallahassee this weekend taking an official visit to FSU. Kind of unexpected. He wasn't supposed to go anywhere. Earlier this week, rumors started flying that Andy Jean was going to be in Tallahassee. Today's Friday as we tape this. We'll see if he ends up showing up, but he is expected to be there. UF cannot afford to lose him out of Miami Northwestern.
And in the day and age of NIL, there's so much more, I think, eyes on are these kids eventually going to put pen to paper. And I think there's also this narrative that at the 11th hour, you have a program come in and say, we have this NIL package potentially in place for you. Do you want to come play for us? Like, do you see NIL causing a higher frequency on the flip market when it comes to the recruiting trail? Because it makes sense in theory, but is it reality?
I want to see. Okay. And the litmus test for me is going to be 5-star quarterback Dante Moore. He's been committed to Oregon for quite some time, and I know Kenny Dillingham, who's now at Arizona State as the head coach, had a big hand in being his primary recruiter. But Dante Moore is now listening to UCLA. After taking an official visit there last weekend, our Chad Simmons said that UCLA came with a, quote, strong NIL offer that has Dante Moore thinking. So, that being said, we know Oregon has a strong NIL program and can offer him plenty of opportunity there. But if UCLA can come in, I mean, this is kind of where we're starting to figure it out. Does NIL make things more secure down the stretch? Yeah. Or does NIL cause more chaos down the stretch? If the litmus test is Dante Moore. If Dante Moore flips to UCLA, we know that it was enticed by a strong NIL opportunity. It's what got him there. It's what got him listening to Chip Kelly. So we just got to see what happens down the stretch with him.
And for the folks at home, what goes into a flip? Because I'm thinking, okay, it's leading up to signing day. Is it primarily NIL? Is it just blowing up the phone and being, kind of unsure about your commitment leading up to it? Is it coaching changes? Like, there's so much that I would imagine goes into it. But in your mind, Josh, what are some of the key ingredients that go into the beautiful thing that is flip season?
Well, as the pressure starts building at the run-up to signing day, yes, some of it is what you said, but also look at what's happening at Georgia right now. Justice Haynes, Alabama 5-star running back commitment, comes out and says, I'm done. I'm not going to Ohio State this weekend. I'm not considering Georgia anymore. I'm 1,000% committed to Alabama. So what does Georgia have to do now? They have to pivot. So this is where you can start creating some flips. Georgia no longer in the running for Justice Haynes. They turn their attention to 3-star running back Kyron Jones, who has been committed to NC State throughout the season. NC State's just sitting there saying, hey, we're five days from signing day.
Yep.
We love this running back. We fully intended to sign him. But what are you going to do when the defending national championship team comes knocking? Kyron Jones, possibly a flip option for Georgia. So sometimes it's just, hey, this is how it is in the college football picking order, but Georgia is the defending champ. NC State didn't compete for a national championship last year, and now Kyron Jones is considering a big-time flip to Georgia.
We've already seen some of these flips happen. I mean, Reuben Owens went from Louisville to A&M. We saw Jaden Rashada flip from Miami to Florida. So we've already seen some of these flip dominoes fall. A lot of action before signing day. Is there, in anticipation in your mind, are we going to see a lot of these flips that will happen prior to signing day, or is it going to be, hey, National Signing Day hits, you better be locked into the On3 YouTube channel because things are going to be flipping and flopping, and we're going to see a bunch of different names ending up at different schools. Like, how do you see that potential action happening in your mind?
Yeah, it's happening now. We forgot Lincoln Kienholz,
Yep.
quarterback, 4-star quarterback, flips from Washington to Ohio State yesterday. I think the more flips that we see before signing day are going to create more holes on other teams' commit lists, and they're going to have to therefore go flip more prospects on National Signing Day. There's some whispers right now over Peyton Bowen, like we talked about, over David Hicks. The question is, do we find out if they're going to flip before or on signing day?
Yeah.
Personally, more drama on signing day, the better. I'm all for it.
But if I'm a player, I'm saying I want to know where I'm going as soon as possible. I want to do right by the school. I want, I want to have my ducks in a row.
Further.
Yeah, tell me.
What if you're a coach and your livelihood depends on who's on that commit list and you want to know who you're signing? Like if you have a major need at wide receiver, you have a major need at QB, and you got a QB like Dante Moore that's maybe considering, how do you handle that? Do you go all in on Dante and try to keep him? Or do you I don't know if it's panic, maybe just, cover your butt.
Yeah.
But do you go out and cover your butt and go land maybe a lower ranked guy that you just need because, hey, we got to get somebody in at quarterback?
Yeah, we can't be left empty-handed on signing day because we needed a quarterback in this class. We thought we had one for the last however many months, and then signing day comes, and in theory, if you do lose one, I think that strategy is very much so something that a lot of programs may have to take into account as we get closer and closer to signing day. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.